You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
With the internet becoming mainstream, 4chan saw its focus shift to in-house content rather than stepping on the toes of other websites. Users became increasingly reactionary and hostile towards outsiders and generally intolerant of things they didn't like. May 26, 2012. Since Toonami was airing that night, A gets a sticky. It states that in order to prevent A from being flooded with discussion, mods would create Toonami threads on BG, as well as vowing to delete all Toonami threads on A for the rest of the night. This created a massive amount of confusion and anger amongst the A user base as well as V and VG, particularly because Toonami really didn't have any place on VG, and it would make more sense to put it on TV or Co or something. Toonami literally has nothing to do with video games, so. Many called out the mods for being lazy and simply tossing the problem to a different board. On June 5th, Mood creates WorkSafe GIF, splitting GIF into 2 boards. On the 8th, the anime series Chihiro Furu gets a second season. A gets a sticky. August 8th, after 4chan hit his 1 billionth post, Mood uploads his first news post in over 4 years. He reopens Q, the 4chan discussion board, and states that he plans on starting a series of Prime Minister Q&A threads because he feels like he's out of touch with the community. Following a suggestion on Q, this practice becomes a bannable offense, which is when a poster uses the same image every post as a means of identification. An example of this would be King of Gets. Users from all sorts of boards, especially A and V, started complaining about their respective board and the certain problems they have with it, leaving the mods to not really know what to do, especially concerning Naruto threads on A and how much A hates Naruto threads, but Mood clarifies that Naruto is A content, so it deserves to be on the board. On the 12th, mods flip B upside down, replacing B's background with the Australian flag. August 13th, Dub the Dew. 4chan gets hold of Mountain Dew's new naming contest, and together with Reddit hijacks it, making names like Fapple, Diabetes, and Hitler Did Nothing Wrong appear on the top. Bronies also joined in, attempting to get Applejack at the top, but only managed to get second place. Later, the site was actually hijacked and the banner was changed. Mountain Dew later admits defeat and suspends the contest. For a few days, a mysterious game titled lostboy.exe gets posted on 4chan, containing a virus that steals users' personal information. A mod makes a sticky on B saying, "Do not panic," reminding people to not download things linked on 4chan. On the 30th, 4chan attempts to get Taylor Swift to play at a deaf school by hijacking a Taylor Swift on-campus promotion, where the winner gets $10,000 in prizes and Taylor Swift playing a gig at the winner's choice of place. 4chan voted Hornsman School for the Deaf for first place, with an overwhelming 10,000 votes. Taylor Swift, however, had better plans. She convinces the sponsors to disqualify the school and donates $10,000 herself. And it doesn't stop there, she also convinces the sponsors to donate themselves, along with 3 other non-profit companies, and gives tickets to her next gig to all the members of the school, ending with a whopping $60,000 in donations. On September 9th, after a long time, janitor applications finally open for a period of 24 hours. Mood reports receiving over 7,500 applications and will oversee them within the following months. On the 18th, Mood announces the start of the 4chan Pass. It allows users to bypass reCAPTCHA for a year, costing $20. This is simply because Mood doesn't support the concept of ongoing donations, nor rallies, partly because he dislikes receiving without giving. October 1st, 4chan turns 9 years old. On the 5th, A gets a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure sticky. The first episode was airing that night, so there was a lot of hype in the thread, as well as complaining, as always. Throughout the earlier parts of the thread, many people were asking for the stream. By the time the stream was only 5 minutes away from airing, no one had a stream. Even the mods were begging for a stream. However, with only 1 minute away from the anime starting, a legendary Anon posted a link to a Justin.tv stream. A went into a frenzy of excitement when the stream link was posted, and there was even a mod that thanked the poster. On the 19th, the English subversion of Cyrano's Perfect Math class is stickied on B. On the 24th, Anonymous decides to troll Justin Bieber fans by spreading fake news that he got cancer. They even went as far as to photoshopping Justin Bieber and asking people to shave their head in support of Justin Bieber. They used the hashtag #BaldForBieber. It's surprisingly successful and many lols were had, and this event also garnered a lot of media attention as well. On November 18th, The Lenny face meme becomes widespread in record time. It was born out of a Finnish image board named Ililota and overran 4chan, Reddit, Tumblr, and Facebook, all in a single day. Also, on a thread regarding the announcement of Season 3 of Rosin Maid gets a sticky. Most Anons responded pretty positively and were excited to hear the news. In the month of December, there were a few notable sticky threads, and on the 13th, Mood adds Bitcoin support to the 4chan pass. And on the 21st, V's title changes to Final Hours and has the Final Hours music from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask playing in response to the predicted apocalypse. Two other stickies related to the so-called end of the world were posted on A and X. On the 30th, A gets a sticky created by the mods to clarify certain policies and addressing A's problems in the upcoming year in a general town hall. The mods first acknowledge that A doesn't really have any major problems per se, with the only notable problem being the us versus them mentality, a term used to describe fan-based warfare. They claim that many of the posts exemplifying this mentality were bannable shitposts. They then made some points about self-moderation being the best type of moderation, that users should use the report system, and not safe for work content wasn't allowed on the board. The thread itself, after the initial horde of shitposters, was pretty straightforward and many posters made suggestions and complaints. After an hour, the mods decide to lock the thread. About 2 hours later, they decide to open the thread, after which many posters said very mean things directed towards the mods. Mostly because people just thought the mods got tired of reading the post and were generally lazy, for the reason of them locking the thread. After much banter, the thread was finally locked and removed by the mods. January 30th, 2013. Hashtag boobs for Bieber. B decides to attempt a new Justin Bieber scam by editing tits out of jailbait pictures and posting them on Twitter. But this time, the attacks are reported by the media and rejected by B-tards. They complain that Bieber is an overused target and the attack just simply failed to take off. On February 15th, Mood stickies a shitposting thread on A, although he may have been drunk because many of the posts he made absolutely no sense. Prior to this, he made a non-sticky test thread on A without an image. Much of A was fed up with Mood using the board as a test board of sorts, as this always drew an off-topic discussion, and mod-sanctioned shitposting has been a topic of discussion during town hall stickies organized by mods back in December. Mods denied that there were any shitposting made by mods, much less admins. One frantic Anon made a thread on Q trying to get the mods to stop messing with the board. However, as this was directed towards the mods, nothing ever came of it. The thread that Mood stickied happened to be even more off topic than the test thread, although this time, there was an obvious lack of mod presence in the thread, and that was clear as day. The topic of the Q thread from earlier also shifted towards the topic of Mood shitposting on A, but it was mostly just complaints because they knew there was nothing they could do about it. Several began speculating what the occasion was this time, whether he was drunk or he was just in the mood to fuck around. Based on his post later in the thread, it was probably the former. But at the same time, a lot of people did think he was just pretending to be drunk. By the end of the thread, the possibility that he wasn't actually pretending and he was actually drunk took hold. Anyways, the thread reached over 2,500 posts, and with 13 of them being Mood shitposting. On March 18th, Mood adds alternative sports, graphic design, outdoors, LGBTQ, and retro games. However, the two most requested boards, History and Quest Games, are nowhere in sight. And on the 31st, Mood confirms that S4S is here to stay. On April 1st, Mood adds shit 4chan says. And on the 3rd, S4S becomes an official 4chan board, becoming a yellow board with no rules. In May, recent crackdowns on shitposting on SP and TV, two long forgotten boards but still somewhat relevant, lead to many users outright rebelling against the moderation team. On one side, users from TV have long been complaining about constant celebrity waifu threads, which can take up half the board at times. And on the other hand, SP's off-topic posting has been increasingly exponential since 2010. The upset and banned users start spreading images and signing their posts with hashtag FreeSP and hashtag FreeTV. Though it's agreed that TV has no holding ground claim that celebrity threads are not allowed on TV, Mood agreed to allowing certain classic SP threads such as Power Level and Current Event threads. July 3rd, both Poll and B read the Skype call of Scott Pleasant's remote testimony in the George Zimmerman trial.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. No other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Cross. Is that his phone that's getting
It's someone calling the destination.
Several media outlets report on the incident. On July 15th, a thread was posted on B with a link to a contest where you could win the chance to meet Taylor Swift by writing an essay on why you should be considered her biggest fan. Why anyone would take this seriously is beyond me. The original poster of the thread urges everyone to vote for Charles Z. It quickly reaches first place on the 19th. However, the radio station shut down the contest because it was being compromised. August 13th, Naruto Day. A's elitism finally goes way too far when they dox a 4chan mod who posted on Q, telling them to stop complaining about the Naruto threads on A. Moot retaliates by changing A's name to Naruto confirmed best anime Chinese cartoon of all time, with the subtitle, Believe It. Also, dubs are better than subs. A then goes berserk and begins spamming CP and Guro, forcing mods to take it down. On September 1st, Moot removes IDs from B, and on the 2nd, he adds them back again. On the 3rd, he makes a news post detailing the upcoming 4chan panel and who's gonna be there. Moot then removes IDs from B again. On September 5th, Haraj, the most popular Russian image board, dies, and the entirety of the user base returns to 4chan's international board. On the 10th, Moot adds the glorious fortune system to S4S, which is now what the board is mostly known for, besides ironic shitposting of course. On the 18th, Moot posts a TLDR news post where he defines the site's official stance on shitposting and on-topic content. He announces that all future Q&A sessions will be live streamed, and he also removes Q, replacing it with a suggestion box. He adds a much needed 4chan ban log, and finally, in an act that will probably be lived on in infamy, he makes Sage invisible after almost 10 years of the feature being used. October 1st, 4chan is officially 10 years old. The American government shuts down and the Silk Road closes. Terraria has a huge update and V discovers that Half-Life 3 is already trademarked and is in the making. On the 2nd, B pulls a prank to convince Miley Cyrus's fans that the singer contracted AIDS. On the 22nd, the website known as 8chan is created. They become the sworn rivals of 4chan, calling 4chaners half-channers. On November 30th, an Anon livestreams his suicide attempt, posting the link on B. He sets his room on fire. However, later in the stream, firefighters save him. On December 22nd, 4chan passes go on sale. At the same time, B has a successful raid in the first time in ages. An Anon finds a network of school sites that have their default username and password. He then proceeds to post them on B, to which a group of Anons deface the site with the usual porn and the usage of the N-word and the FAG word, as well as linking a narcotics honeypot. CP had also been reported to be posted. However, the Anons who didn't use a proxy should be expecting a visit from the party van.